This video was submitted by Ghost Club Paranormal. One of the girls in the video sees something in the mirror behind her. Let's see her reaction.
Look in the mirror behind you there. I don't necessarily know what that is.
You know what? I think I've had it, especially with these paranormal investigation channels. If these channels have proved anything over the years, it's that in the pursuit of content and trying to make you viral, nothing is sacred, not even death. Do you remember when your parents used to tell you ghost stories of the time they came across a ghost? It was the single most defining moment in your parents' lives. But here are these two farming the same experience for reaction. It's so disingenuous. I can't believe people actually believe this. Quite frankly, I've had it with this, so let's go through, and for once, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion.
I don't necessarily.
That was the fakest reaction I've ever seen. I haven't seen a reaction this fake since George Bush was told about the second Lord of the Rings movie. Oh, you just happen to be reading books to children when you were told. No one's buying it. Let's have a look and let's see if we can actually see what this bitch is talking about.
Behind you there?
Yeah, I actually can't see anything at all. That's the thing with these ghost hunter channels. Much like psychics and other shysters and people that con you out of your money, they use a coercive combination of sound effects, spooky music, ghost hunting toys found on Amazon, and the worst reactions you've ever seen. This combination, unfortunately, is enough to get equally stupid individuals to believe this bullshit. Let's have a look again, and maybe this time we will see what the hell she's talking about.
Okay, you can clearly see me, and then you see just like, like real fast.
And
yeah, clearly.
Sitting
it
away.
was not me. My theory on this building is
Oh, please, give us your theory.
yes, it's a very historic building, but it's also extremely popular
You're in Texas, it's not that old.
with paranormal investigators, and a lot of investigators come in here and they actually bring their own haunted objects, they donate things. This has turned into basically a museum, so it's actually really difficult to tell, are these spirits from the past? Is it residual?
Are these spirits from the past? What else would they be? Would they be spirits from the future? These ladies clearly know their audience, and by that I mean they know they're stupid.
I genuinely feel like all of that is just a recipe for a really active, insane night.
Sure, well, we'll just have to take your word for it. But in my opinion, if you actually want to find a place that has probably the highest concentration of ghosts, then go to literally any hospital, because people die there literally all the time. Using the logic of these two ladies and various other ghost hunters, you would assume that people who die en masse, mostly against their will, would most likely congregate in scary amounts in hospitals. Yet, here we are, not moving hospitals every year due to the high concentration of ghosts building up.
That's awesome. Could you just get my flashlight out the side here, because
You feeling a little
really
nervous?
I just really want it.
Let's be cute and do fun little voices with each other and show absolutely no fear when we're trying to convince you that we're in the presence of an unproven afterlife. Listen. If the people who are hunting these ghosts aren't scared, it's because they know something you don't. It means they don't believe this shit, and they're purely farming this stuff for views and engagement.
Or you could also make a very loud noise in this building. Direct us where to go.
I hope people realize how unbelievably trivial and easy it would be to place another person somewhere in the building who can simply knock the wall or a door given the cue.
Not even one thing coming through the necrometer.
How adorable. They actually downloaded an app from the App Store called Necrometer. allow me to look up this completely stupid app. According to Google, the Necrometer app primarily functions by utilizing your phone's built-in magnetometer to detect fluctuations in magnetic fields. For those of you who don't know, magnetic fields are one of the most ubiquitous invisible fields emitted by most household appliances. Anyway, the app interprets these changes as potential paranormal activity and then displaying results through text or audio prompts, often in the form of words, phrases, or voices, which users can interpret as communication from spirits. So to simplify, normal everyday emissions of electromagnetic fields most likely takes a lot of liberties with their translation to suggest that perhaps you are in the presence of a spirit.
You don't have anything to say to us? When have you ever seen the Necrometer that quiet? Okay, well...
I don't know, maybe you should try moving your magnetometer closer to a microwave or a light switch, or maybe anywhere near your house, because it seems to me that you grew up right next to a power plant.
Are you friendly, Keith? Or do you like scaring people?
This building looks more like a set than an actual haunted building. Not that haunted buildings actually exist. There is a scientific and psychological reason why people think they see ghosts when in a state of heightened emotion. But let's get back to the matter at hand. These two girls asking a spirit named Keith if he wants to talk. But as far as I know, the name Keith is mostly common in places like the UK and not a typical name for someone who lives in Texas.
Keith, if you are here...
Angelic vision.
Angelic vision.
I am an angelic vision.
Keith, if you're here with us, you can follow us through the seance room.
Never seen anything so beautiful in your life.
Keith, if you're here with us, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Don't forget to buy our merch.
Says several entities, and I agree with that.
You agree with a phone app that you downloaded? I sure hope it was free, because if you gave this company some money, I will actually bitch slap you. It would be so simple to set an app with a threshold to say randomized phrases based on the detection of electromagnetic fields.
So we're gonna do an Ouija session together.
For the first time.
I'm sorry, did she just say Ouija?
So we're gonna do an Ouija session together.
She did. Not only are they using a toy that doesn't work, that's actually made by a toy manufacturer, she also can't say it correctly. It's a me, Ouija.
I'd like to go ahead and invite the spirits of Old Park Hotel to the seance room, please.
Fun fact, when it comes to Ouija boards, it is suggested by the company that creates them that you play with two people and no less, but not for safety, but because the power of suggestion and the willingness to make it real will make one of the people move the planchette and then proceed to convince the other that they are not doing it.
Everyone is welcome here.
Except common sense.
What is that there?
A.
A? A-X?
A-X.
A.
AXA, as far as I know, that's an insurance company in the UK. Oh my god, can you believe it? Our first ever haunting from an insurance company.
I'm sorry, we're not quite understanding. Let's just start off with a yes or no question.
Yeah, because between the two of you, you couldn't quite decide what name you wanted to type in, so you just typed in gibberish.
Yeah, like pussy. What just happened?
Allow me to explain. One of your crew members or chaperone decided to wind up the music box and played it deliberately after using your Ouija board. Anyone who believes that these two girls are in the presence of something paranormal clearly needs help getting dressed in the morning, but let's move on.
Just this year alone, we investigated 41 different locations and put out 41 paranormal investigation documentaries. And in that time, we experienced some pretty crazy paranormal activity and captured some really shocking moments on camera.
I don't even watch this channel, and I already know it was just a compilation of reactions to sound effects that were either made by their crew or added in post.
What was that? That was single-handedly one of the creepiest things that I've experienced in a long time.
I am so sick of this sensationalist bullshit.
What was that?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but apparently it wasn't enough to make either one of you run in the opposite direction, which is usually people's natural reaction to something they don't understand. But let's talk about the noise that we actually heard, a dragging noise that they don't understand. How low level, basic, and easy to create, wouldn't even need to add that in post. She literally could have just dragged her foot on the floor. I mean, is anyone buying this poopy dookie caca boo boo?
What the f? I heard that.
That was right beside me.
I'm so glad that he confirmed that he heard it too, even though we already saw him react to it.
Was that like a shuffling on the floor?
It had to have been.
That made me jump.
Holy moly. That was literally
Be
right
quiet.
beside me. Oh,
You read my mind.
yeah, that was crazy. Like, whenever
Yeah, that was the most insane, crazy shit ever. Do not show this chick a horror movie. She might just explode.
I say right beside me, I mean right beside me.
Yeah, almost like it was directly underneath you. Like your shoes, for example.
Yeah, I heard it, and I knew because I was looking. I could see you out of the corner of my eye, and I knew you didn't move when the sound happened. And I was like, that's why I jumped, because I was like, oh, that's right beside her.
Yeah.
Wow, they're really milking this meager situation for everything it's worth. Literally something dragged. It could be either one of their feet. But let's get an action replay and let's talk about how it made us feel. Let's talk about the fact that we heard it. Let's talk about the fact that it was right next to us.
What was that? What was that? Who's right beside Miranda?
You are, you absolute buffoon.
Michael.
Michael? Oh, I have chills. My hair's standing up.
You know, I don't remember whenever these devices for reading out ghost voices became a thing, but surely we would have seen it trending all across the internet or perhaps in scientific journals. An unbelievable breakthrough in detecting the paranormal. We have devices now that can actually read out the voices or the intentions of nearby paranormal entities. But no, they're just being used by these absolute airheaded morons, completely isolated from anyone who would describe these devices as complete bullshit. They have a monopoly themselves of these devices and they use them to sell their bullshit.
Michael, are you a patient here?
Unbelievable. He's literally just talking to a ghost, an apparent ghost, proof of the afterlife, like he's talking to a friend through a walkie-talkie. Why do people believe this? How many views does this have? 115,000? That's 115,000 idiots. This top comment here nearly made me combust. Thank you guys for keeping it real, not faking shit, and making me laugh with your great sense of humor. Amanda Gibbs 9592 is the kind of woman who has to ask if the movies that she's watching in the cinema actually happened. Then you have to remind her that it's just actors pretending to be these characters, and that people don't actually just turn green and start smashing buildings to pieces if they get angry. Congratulations, Amanda. You're an idiot.
Dave and Jason went up to the attic, an area that was notorious for the hauntings because a woman had taken her own life up there.
Yeah, we'll just take your word for that, buddy boy.
And listen, it's okay that you didn't talk or interact with us any more than you did. We just appreciate you interacting with us at all. So thank you.
Words of affirmation from this neck-bearded soy boy. I'm sure the ghost really appreciates it. thank you for suggesting that we can hear a man's voice in this white noise static that your device picked up. I'm curious, if you did not put man's voice on screen, would any of your audience actually been able to perceive anything from that white noise? Now they've added sound effects in post. Unexplained movement. It could be any number of the other people who you've already explained are moving through the house themselves. And if this building is abandoned or derelict, it could be rats. There are so many things that are possible to happen before assuming that literally any of this activity is due to paranormal entities. There are so many things that can happen based in reality before you assume it's a ghost. But these idiots will jump to the most insane conclusion first because it gets views. Nobody wants to watch a ghost hunter channel that actually tells the truth.
If you're here with us right now, can you make a noise?
The was that y'all? No.
No.
I've never heard anything like that.
No.
Based on this guy's doughy exterior, I bet this guy's definitely heard scarier things coming from his own toilet. There's a reason why the scientific community has absolutely no interest in interviewing any of these shysters. It's because they prove absolutely nothing, and it's just a series of smoke and mirrors. The trivialization of something so serious and so meaningful to so many people just for some views. These people make me sick. This is the face of a man who's so delighted to have found the niche that he can exploit for more views to sell his merch. Undoubtedly, they have merch. I've not even checked. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's the first link they have, as well as Patreon and PayPal, just for good measure. How predictable. Like all of your tactics that you use to convince the idiots out there that you're actually in the presence of an unproven scientific anomaly, you have to remember that this is more than just entertainment. What these guys are trying to convince you of is that not only are they in the presence of ghosts and paranormal entities, but also that they're proving the existence of life after death. This is an unbelievable claim to make, and these are unbelievably pathetic examples of proof for such a thing. Even with faking all of this evidence, they're still only able to maintain a level of believability by making shuffling noises and wailing sounds throughout the house, as they know if they fully commit, things might get a little too serious. It's all about maintaining that plausible deniability.
The craziest thing to this day that we will not forget is what happened when I was alone inside Adam's Hall.
What the f? Hello? Hello?
Again, it's just a noise. That noise could have been added at any moment. It could have been added in post. It also could have happened in the moment with a device that plays a noise.
I don't know what that was.
Now let's watch as he proceeds to milk that for all it's worth, and then some more.
Something just hissed. I don't know if there's an animal in here or what that possibly could have been, but I just heard something hiss at me.
Are we gonna get an action replay just in case we missed it? Or perhaps your audience doesn't know how to use the rewind function? Yeah, I called it.
What the f? What the f?
The one thing about that is that the area is known for rattlesnakes. Probably would have rather it have been a demon or a spirit hissing at me rather than a venomous snake in close proximity to me inside a building when I was completely alone, but
Unbelievable. I can't believe this guy actually explained what I was saying earlier. It's most likely something that exists in reality before it'll be something from the Bible. Imagine hearing a noise that you don't quite understand in your house, and the first thing you think is, Yeah, it's a biblical demon here to extract my fear and damn my soul forever.
We heard a story that you saw a nurse up here, a lady that looked like she was from the sanatorium. She used to live in this building, and she said your room wasn't clean enough.
Imagine putting words into a ghost's mouth. Now I've seen everything.
Give it back.
Holy f***ing shit. What? Hello?
Unbelievable. Again, with the same tired execution, just more shuffling, more unseen movement, more random phrases said by their app or whatever the hell they're using. I can't believe that people actually think this is real. It makes me weep for the future of mankind. I'm curious. Let's have a quick look at this building that he's in. St. Albans Sanatorium. Yeah, it's sanatorium, you idiots. But then again, it doesn't really surprise me that they are lacking in even basic literacy skills. Oh look, what do we have here? St. Albans Sanatorium private investigation booking. You can actually book this location for your bullshit ghost hunter experience. Nothing screams dangerous spirits more than actually inviting people into the building with their little gadgets and toys and their captive audience of dumbasses. Adorable. $30 a ticket. There's no better reason to fake a ghost or a haunted building than to make some money. What did I tell you? It's all a money-making scheme.
The soil would be washed.
Stay away from Rosa Carmichael.
I just skipped to a random point in the video, and when you look at that, it's the same tired ammo as they've used in every other video. Do you think that they're trying to convince us that these ghosts have some sort of communication to make their activity consistent between each other? Footsteps, unseen movement, and a box that says random words that we're supposed to believe is a ghost talking to us. Let's skip another 30 minutes ahead and let's see if they change up how they operate.
I mean, that's a pretty good industry to get into. You come to a town like this in the Wild West, get everyone addicted to sugar. Before you know it, they'll be eating out of your hands, literally.
This guy is literally tough talking and goading what he believes to be the ghost of a millionaire. Anyone who actually believes in the paranormal or the afterlife would not be playing such stupid games to be winning such stupid prizes.
Nice.
Once again, I f***ing called it. Just a random phrase said by their box that actually picks up on radio waves. I looked it up. It picks up on stray radio waves and reads back random words and phrases that it picked up.
What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.
I'll let you know right now. I think you're an idiot, but that's nothing compared to how idiotic your audience is to believe that any of this is real.
So far, not much luck up here except for finding out that whoever's up here wants to get people addicted to sugar.
Yeah, so far nothing much happening up here. Just me having a conversation with a ghost. Unbelievable. Well, we've seen a lot of bullshit in this video, but I think the only people laughing harder than these idiots trying to convince you to buy their merch and watch their videos and subscribe for more of their bullshit are the property owners of these supposedly haunted buildings, making an absolute mint off of these supposed ghost hunters for making their content. But that's enough from me. I think I might change my content to debunking these frauds instead of just humoring them. Until next time, later.